US proxy group on needling spree. Now wants sanctions on RSS and RAW. Led by Pakistan is no surprise. Forum for lobbying and hit jobs. This US religious freedom group with zero credibility.
The man on your screens is Dr. Asif Mahmud. Born in Pakistan, he moved to United States in 1999. He is now a Pakistani-American physician and human rights activist who served as the Vice Chair of the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, or the USCIRF. He is publicly known as an India hater and beta. This is what Mahmud wrote inside the New York Times, another known India beta. This is not where Mahmud stops. He was busy spreading conspiracy theories about the involvement of India in the killing of Khalistani extremists in the US, Canada and Pakistan. Mahmud tweeted a video where he spoke to US Senator Cory Booker and claimed India's role in assassinations in US and Canada, now rejected by top agencies in both countries. Dr. Mahmud was also a campaigner against the Citizenship Amendment Act. Here he claimed that the act intentionally coincided with the Ramadan to send a clear message to Muslims of India that you are no longer equal citizens. He has spewed such venom against India and PM Modi on a regular basis. True to his Pakistani roots, human rights activist Asif Mahmud was seen echoing talking points strikingly similar to those often attributed to Pakistan's military media wing. The Directorate of Inter-Services Public Relations, or DGISPR, Mahmud went a step further, openly backing calls that question India's sovereignty over Jammu and Kashmir and advocating for what he described as the region's right to self-determination. In a social media post, Mahmud wrote, "Another sad and dark day for democracy, justice and the right to self-determination for Kashmiris. In a long struggle for them and their children's future, the US and the rest of the democratic world should pay attention to what he called India's encroachment in Kashmir." Now, the USCIRF, which employs gems like Dr. Mahmud, is back with another gem. They want the RSS to be sanctioned along with the RAW. The recommendations include designate India as a country of particular concern, or CPC, for engaging in and tolerating systematic, ongoing and egregious religious freedom violations as defined by the International Religious Freedom Act. Press India allow US government entities such as USCIRF and the US Department of State to conduct in-country assessment of religious freedom conditions, impose targeted sanctions on individuals and entities such as India's Research and Analysis Wing and the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh for their responsibility and tolerance of severe violations of religious freedom by freezing those individuals or entities' assets and barring their entry into the US. Well, this is not surprising. The language used in the report echoes what we've seen in tweets made by Azhar Mahmood. When Mahmood was the commissioner, USCIRF had dedicated 2 pages of its report in 2024 to bait and hate India. The 2024 report took aim at several policy measures undertaken by the government of India. It expressed concern over the enforcement of the Citizenship Amendment Act, the application of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act against individuals accused of terrorism, and the government's crackdown on questionable foreign funding through the cancellation of Foreign Contribution Regulation Act licenses of certain NGOs. According to the Commission, laws related to anti-conversion, restrictions on cow slaughter, provisions under the UAPA and the cancellation of FCRA licenses have allegedly been used to detain, monitor and target religious minorities and those advocating on their behalf. The report also spoke in support of the Delhi-based Centre for Policy Research, a prominent think tank whose FCRA license was cancelled by the Government of India. The Union Ministry of Home Affairs had earlier cited violation of foreign funding norms, noting in particular that CPR had published material on what it described as current affairs programs, which the ministry said fell outside the permitted scope of its foreign funding regulations. India has made its views on the USCIRF very clear. Let's listen in to what was said in 2024. When India gets a long lecture, Bangladesh has been given a longer rope. The same organization that wants RSS sanctioned has justified the lynching of Dipu Das, calling it a reaction to him making blasphemous comments against Prophet Muhammad. Hassan has been cited as the author of or contributor of sections of USCIRF reports discussing India, which have alleged rising violation of religious freedom and recommendations that the US government consider designating India as a country of particular concern. It often results in violence and abets efforts to prohibit interfaith marriages using the false narrative of false conversions. The law was particularly concerning not just for its discriminatory purpose, but also because of its vague and potentially wide-reaching impacts on religious freedoms in the state. Hindu nationalists had launched inflammatory campaigns decrying interfaith relationships, or engagement, including calls for boycotts and censorship of media depictions of interfaith relationships. These efforts targeting and delegitimizing interfaith relationships have led to attacks and arrest of non-Hindus and violence towards any interfaith interaction.
US proxy group on needling spree. Now wants sanctions on RSS and RO. Led by Pakistan is no surprise. Forum for lobbying and hit jobs. This US religious freedom group with zero credibility.